Welcome to the Tuttle and Kline Show.
He's the Kliniest.
Tuttle, what's going on?
Mob. Hey, congratulations. What are you, day 4 with that Corvette? You haven't run into a tree yet.
Not yet. I haven't wrapped it around anything yet.
Just be careful during rain.
Yeah, well, it's got a weather format on it, so it's got the sport mode, touring mode, track mode, and weather mode.
Yeah, there's a lot of torque there, man, and you get sideways in wet weather, and it's unrecoverable because of the torque.
How long have you known me? When have I ever used torque for a car?
Yeah, let me tell you this, Cav. You getting a sweet Corvette. Here's a picture of it right here. You getting a sweet Corvette is the biggest waste of the machine ever.
Oh, I even said that. I said this is the biggest waste of an engine that's ever been assembled.
And this poor car, after about 6-8 months, it'll pull into a parking lot and it may see another Corvette. And when you go in, they talk to each other when you go in and shop.
Of course.
They'll see another Corvette and go, God, this guy's such a bitch, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. He did 80 the other day, got scared, and had to back off in 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good pickup. I haven't tested it, obviously. I set the cruise control to 75 in a 70 zone, 70 and a 65.
Ooh.
I know, right? I'm living on the edge, buddy.
You bring that thing to Houston and let me shake that thing down for you.
Like you did the Sebring, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You love that, didn't you? You love that.
The tires out of your driveway.
You love that, didn't you?
I was like, holy crap, man. He's going to kill my car.
He's like, what a dick, man. Well, I got to give it. You got to test it, man. You got to see where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. This car is it's at a lot.
And trust me, it wants to be tested.
Yeah, well, it's built for that. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you drove one before, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I drove one. The Sebastians let me have one at Classic Chevy, Sugarland, about 2021. And
what I'm surprised at is that with the engine right behind your head, it is so quiet.
Yeah.
I drove a 2018. We were thinking about getting one then, and it was just too loud. So I really appreciate the cabin of this being so quiet.
I love that car. It's a great car.
Thanks.
And she wants to run, Cav. Don't forget, she wants to run. You bring that seriously. You do a road trip here to Houston, and just look the other way for about 5 minutes, like the Sebastians did.
Yes, of course.
They handed me the keys, and it was like the movie Ferris Bueller when they gave the valet the Ferrari.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm getting air about 2 miles away from Classic Chevy Show. I'm getting air on some of the hills, man.
I don't doubt that.
Hey, Kev, this was really, really cool. I told you that, I still handicap NFL football games, even though I can't bet because I'm in Texas.
Right.
And, I spend a lot of time on them. I got a worksheet and everything like that. What I did the other day on Sunday is just goofing around. Filled out the covers.com, beat the experts. They give you 6 bets with one game. The over, the under, the who's going to win, how many yards each quarterback's going to have, rushing yards one of the running backs will have, and this, that, and the other. And then, as a tiebreaker, total rushing yards, both teams. I never expected to win, but I got my email yesterday morning and it said, Zoso 1977. That's me, Zoso 1977.
It's a reference to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin and their cool tour year, 1977.
Uh-huh.
So you look at if you see a poker sites, if you see Zoso 1977 at your table, or Zoso, that's me. But I got the email and it said, "Congratulations, Zoso 1977, you won a $250 Amazon gift card."
Can you accept it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Because I didn't pay any money to do it. It's a free contest that they do.
Oh, nice.
They have free contests almost every day on covers. And I just started doing them about a week ago, and I win one of the big ones, beat the experts. It was the Chiefs 49ers game.
Well, and what were your predictions?
I correctly predicted that KC +2. That means that San Francisco was giving 2.5 points. So,
Which is ridiculous with all of their injuries.
Yeah, I said that's an easy one, man. I mean, Kansas City doesn't know how to lose,
especially against that team.
Mm-hmm. And then over under was 47-5, and I was like, they're not. The offenses are not going well. I said under, and I got that one by 1.5. There was 46 total points, so hit that one. And then Patrick Mahomes total passing yards. I said under 236, and it was under 236. Again, he's not in his crisp, January form right now.
Yeah.
And Kareem Hunt over 48.5 yards. I said, well, yeah, that's all they're doing now is running. So I took the over on that, and he had like 78 yards. I was like, cool, this is working. I'm 4 for 4. What else we got here? Brock Purdy total passing yards. I said under 248.5. I was like, hey, man, if he doesn't have McCaffrey to set him up, he's easy, in terms of coverage. He may do well, throw a couple touchdown passes, but he's not going to get 248 yards, and he did not.
No, he threw 3 interceptions.
Exactly. And Brendan Ayuk, under 61.5 in terms of yards. I was like, well, obviously he's not going to get 61.5, and he got like 25 or 30 yards or something like that.
Blew out his ACL and MCL, so he's done for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, got the bag, though. He got the bag.
Yeah.
Kev, so, there's 827 people that did this contest, and 33 of us got all 6 of those right.
Okay.
So they have a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is both teams' total rushing yards.
You said?
They had 285 yards rushing, both of them together. I said 287.
Holy cow. You were 2
awesome?
yards off. That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, I was like, because I do all this work on handicapping, punching stuff into my Excel and everything like that. This one, I just, eyeballed it. I was like, that makes sense. And boom, $250 for like 14 seconds of work.
See, what that tells me is that you don't have to overanalyze stuff. If you're going to the horse track or something, you see something that sticks out to you right away, boom, go make the bet.
I've always said this, Kevin. Sometimes I don't adhere to it. I get paralysis of analysis myself. Go with your gut.
Yeah.
Your gut. I mean, you have intuition. Humans have intuition, particularly about things that they know about. They have this intuition. Like if I was to say to you, Kev, we've got the Vegas Golden Knights are playing at Los Angeles, playing the Kings, and they're on a road trip. It's their last game of the road trip. Probably a little tired, and Kings are crisping at home. I'd say, who's going to win that one? You would say
you would put your money behind the Kings, obviously.
By the way, I've done really well with hockey totals. I call it Tuttle's totals.
Oh my gosh, you even got a name for it.
Yeah,
awesome.
Where I just really, I don't care who wins the game. I'm going to tell you and hit it probably about 65-70% of the time how many goals will be scored over and under.
You need to trademark that, man.
Tuttle's totals. If I can ever get into a state that allows sports gambling, that'd be fantastic.
Is that even on the ballot in Texas?
I don't know, man.
It is in Missouri.
I hope I'll have you do the bets then.
Okay, yeah.
You'll be my bookie from Missouri.
Yeah, they say that the money's going to go to education, but then there's ads that say it ain't going to education. But yeah. my question is, even if it doesn't go to education, who was it bothering?
It doesn't. It's the nanny state. It's like, hey, we're going to tell you how to live your life because we're control freak authoritarians, and we just get off on it. Hold on a second. Control. Control. Sorry.
That's okay.
I was imitating our power hungry, freaky, fucking asshole politicians. Anyway, Kev, let's keep it positive here. Speaking of the NFL, I got to do this really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I have to issue an official apology to a former colleague of ours.
Former colleague apology. I don't know where you're going with this.
Um, Izzy.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Izzy the Gato?
Yeah, he's part of the SWAT, the Watt SWAT or something.
Yes, he was part of the SWAT team. A bunch of
SWAT
guys,
team.
yeah, a bunch of guys who used to dress up and wear JJ Watt jerseys and go to the games and stuff like that. And I used to make fun of them. Do you remember?
Oh, I totally remember.
Because I was like, dude, you're wearing a jersey of a guy younger than you. You're not supposed to do that, right?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, but you remember me doing that, shredding.
Oh, I totally remember.
Well, obviously, I did it on the air because I had somebody call me out not too long ago. They saw me in the with Bart Starr when I was getting passes from him, and I was wearing the Brett Favre jersey.
Oh.
And they said, Timmy, I heard all the shit that you gave Izzy about wearing a guy's jersey who's younger than him. And if my math is correct, I think you're slightly, just by a few months, older than Brett Favre, and you were sporting his jersey when you were catching footballs from Bart Starr that one morning in 2001 in Birmingham, Alabama.
Now, let me clear this up for you, though, okay? Through all of the drugs that Brett Favre has taken, he looks older. He looks...
He looks much older than me.
There you go. So there it is.
But it is correct. I shouldn't have done that. And in all honesty, and really looking back at it, people should not wear another man's jersey with another man's name on it because it's kind of a facial to your ancestors. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah. It's like you're not proud of your own moniker.
Yeah. It's like, you go ahead and be a fan of the Green Bay Packers, but, get your own jersey number and put your own name on the back of it. How's that?
Or just keep it blank. Everybody knows the number, the player.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I have to do that because I used to give him so much shit.
Well, but it's fun to give Izzy shit.
Oh, yeah. He's one of those that's golden.
Yeah.
I mean, Kev, I remember we were at Big Texas. And, we used to always talk baseball at Big Texas. Gary, the DJ, Gary Brandt is a huge fan of baseball. And, Izzy growing up as an Astros fan. And we were talking about some of the great players that we remember when we were kids. And I brought up the name Robin Yount.
Oh, great shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers.
And Hall of Famer. 2000 hit
get ready to
club.
say Hall of Famer.
I think 2-time MVP. Anyway, Izzy says, I've never heard of Robin Yount.
You're not a baseball fan.
Kev, even though we were playing music and you couldn't hear a record scratch from the DJ booth,
right?
Amongst us, you could hear the record scratch. We thought he was kidding at first. How could you be a Generation X, quote unquote, huge baseball fan and never heard of Robin Yount?
Yeah.
Right?
It's befuddling.
Yes. I mean, and at first I was like, okay, because I was a Brewers fan. I lived in Milwaukee and I went to those games. Is it just me? Because
no.
But Gary immediately said no. If you're a baseball fan of our age, you know who fucking Robin Yount is.
You absolutely do. For sure.
And then Izzy's going, well, we were National League growing up, and he's American League. I'm like, no. Because I knew all the great players in the National League, too.
Yeah. Well, I knew all the players in the American League and National League. You just know great players.
Great players, right?
Yeah. Speaking of Gen X, do you feel like you're in touch with your teenage self now that the World Series is set and we're back to the late 70s with the Yankees and Dodgers?
It's so crazy, Kev, because those were the World Series that when we first started watching and really paying attention to baseball.
Mm-hmm.
It was those Dodgers Yankees games.
Yes,
Reggie Jackson, Craig Nettles, Chris Chambliss, Willie Randolph, and on and on and on, and of course Thurman Munson.
That's right.
And then on the Dodger side, Ron Say, Steve Garvey. You had Sosha.
Davey Lopes,
yeah, all those guys.
Bill Russell, Rick Mundy,
Gary
Reggie
Maddox.
Smith. Well, Ron Say was third base. Gary Maddox, I don't
The
recall.
outfielder.
Uh, well, their outfield was Rick Mundy, uh, uh, Reggie Smith,
Gary
and
Maddox was the
Dusty
Phillies.
Baker. Yeah, and Dusty Baker.
Yeah, that's right, Dusty Baker. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it totally reminds me. Even though I hate that they're in the world. Yeah, this was the first time, Kev, American League Championship Series did not have the Houston Astros in it, and since 2016. Did you know that?
I did. Yeah, I knew it was a monster streak.
So that was weird for us here in Houston, going, ooh, ACLS, ooh,
Yeah,
or ALCS, ooh, this hurts.
yeah.
You know?
I totally know. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch any of the games. I looked and saw that the Dodgers are playing the Yankees starting on Friday, and I'm like, kind of reminds me of my youth.
Yeah. And speaking of generations, Kev, I got to throw this out. Something that I just found out this weekend, and maybe you knew it from a blurb, but I did not know it, and I had to check with my kids. Did you know that schools in America pretty much stopped teaching cursive in 2011?
We just had this conversation over the weekend with my nieces.
You're kidding. They don't notice. They don't know how to write cursive, do they?
Not a clue.
No clue.
Nope.
None whatsoever. And Jonas, he was like kind of the at ground zero for it because they teach cursive about third grade,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in third. He remembers being in third grade, and they started teaching them cursive, and then out of nowhere they just stopped.
Yeah.
They just completely shut it down. They thought, okay, keyboards and talk to text. They don't need to know cursive. So, Kev, check this out. They don't know how to sign their name.
No, everything's digital now.
Yeah, they have no idea how to sign. I asked my kids. I said, if you have a document to sign, and I asked Audrey and Jonas, your driver's license, what does that signature look like? It's their initials. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And I did not know that, man. I did not realize that an entire generation now, because, that's 13 years ago, they don't know how to write in cursive.
Yeah, so we were sitting around, we were talking about this with my nieces. One's a sophomore in high school and the other one's in seventh grade. And my sister came up with this kind of what I thought was a brilliant idea. Like escape rooms. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she wants to do like 5 different rooms. Not escape rooms, but you just go in them and things that were in the 70s that no longer exist. Things that were in the 80s that no longer exist in the 90s. And you go in and you just see, and like a paper with cursive writing would be in one, and I was like, that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then I said, yeah, the Smithsonian already exists.
Exactly. Hey, Kev, I remember my kids, we were watching a movie and I forget what movie it is. And, the one of the actors, fax that thing over. Oh, it's Usual Suspects.
Oh, great movie. Great movie.
Where they were faxing over the picture of Kevin Spacey, of Kaiser Sosa.
Yeah.
And my kid, what is that?
All right.
What is that? Okay, so you guys used to have to like take a piece of paper with stuff on it and put it in a machine, and then the machine on the other. That is so fucking lame, Dad.
Yeah. Well, at the time it was cutting edge, kids.
Oh, it was huge, Kev.
Yeah.
And one of the first things I did in sales, I used to work at Kinko's in college.
Mm-hmm.
I was the nation's leader in selling fax paper. Oh, you okay?
Paper.
Yeah. Number one, Kinko's number one in the nation. Tim Tuttle sold the most fax paper 7 months straight, Kev.
Nice. Were you also the leader in the clubhouse with butt Xerox copies?
I did not do that. But I will say, since, it was a college job, that, sometimes when we had to do some overnight stuff, that, Timmy was having a little fun.
I bet.
Because some of those key ops were very, very attractive. That's all I got to say.
Yes, of course.
Kev, I know you like to hear the continuing saga of, what I'm doing, and it's so funny that this is coming up now. We had a powwow yesterday, myself and my sister Tina and my brother Todd and my sister-in-law Jenny.
Oh,
You know,
cool.
talking about mom. They're going to move mom from Palm Springs to Pennsylvania. You know, she's 88 now, and
Yeah.
Tina's going to live out in Pennsylvania. So Todd and Tina are going to be in Pennsylvania, and they want to bring mom out there just to make sure that there's an eye on her.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Mom, we love you so much. We're going to take you out of the warmth and sun and move you to fucking Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
Just in time for winter.
Exactly. Exactly.
What the hell?
I didn't even think of that. That's freaking hilarious. See all this beautiful weather? It's gone.
Yep.
That's for giving us the belt. It took 40 years, but did you think you were going to get away with it? Nah. But, they were asking, hey, how's it going? The, lady situation. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm enjoying the buffet, if you will. For 30 years is, relationship to relationship to relationship. I'm not good at it. It's cost me a couple $1 million, a little bit of heartache. So I told them, but I last week I lost another, quote unquote friend with benefit.
Oh no, what happened? How long had you been with this friend with benefits? Number one.
She'd hung out a couple times.
Okay.
And she was supposed to come and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
She was with me one night, and then she was supposed to come back the next night. Now, rarely will I do 2 nights. I usually don't. But she's got some tricks up her sleeve, and I kind of like her.
I see.
Anyway, she texted me right before she's gonna come over, and she complained she wasn't feeling well. And I was like, oh, okay. The last thing I want is somebody over here with the squirts.
Right. Oh, geez. Oh, God.
or something like that. Or, So the next day, I reach out to her. Well, how are you? Everything good? And she didn't answer. She seemed to be going cold on me.
Oh.
So I don't bother after. I just want to make sure she's okay the next day.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those like an hour later. You okay? Everything good? No, but the next day I hadn't heard from her, and I just said, hey, I just want to make sure that you're not in the hospital or something like that. And then she finally answered and was really weird. And I was like, well, what's wrong? What happened? What's going on? She finally came out with it. She's a little uncomfortable with me.
Why? How so?
Because, quote unquote, she saw my continue watching tab on Amazon Prime and did not like what was on it.
Oh, yeah.
So I immediately turned on the continue watching on Amazon Prime, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one.
All right.
The Menendez murders was 2. Becoming Evil, the inside story about serial killers, was number 3.
Awesome.
And number 4 was Match Game 1978. So I texted her back and I go, well, how can you not love Match Game?
Yeah.
Anyway,
did you clear it up with her?
Well, yeah, I just said, I enjoy, the darker side. I'm not that way myself. I have a conscience. I have sympathy. I love people, but I like millions and millions of other Americans enjoy, that kind of content programming, and she was very uncomfortable with it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, well, I mean, what you're talking about there, Menendez Brothers was the number 1 show on Netflix for a long time. The greatest horror movie ever made is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't say that. The critics say it. Match Game, who didn't like Match Game?
Richard Dawson, baby.
That's right, man.
Yeah, anyway, she's got her thing and whatever.
Well, like you said, you just got to go to the grocery store and you'll find another one.
Hey, Kev.
Yes.
Actually, the weather's cooling off here finally a little bit in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3.5 mile cardio walks, they're yielding it.
Oh, they're bearing fruit, are they?
Yeah, because they're coming out more, and there's some cuties, and me now, I just don't give a fuck.
Right.
So I'll walk past somebody, and if they give me the second look, I'll go, "Hey, you looking good? You looking good?" Something like that. I was like,
Uh-huh.
whoever's your guy, lucky guy, and they'll go, "Oh, I don't have one right now," and I'll be like, "Hello,
I'll be that lucky guy.
well, hello," because I don't care anymore. A lot of people
Yeah.
won't do that. A lot of people won't do that. They're afraid. I don't care.
Isn't it? I was talking to my friend Stan about this when we were buying the car. It's so refreshing to not need, but to want, because if you don't need, you'll walk away.
Absolutely,
If you want, you'll hang in there.
absolutely.
I
And
so held the upper hand with all the car dealerships.
oh yeah, yeah, exactly. If you're not getting your deal, you just walk away.
Yeah. And I still have 5 of them calling me every day.
Yeah.
Can we work out a deal on this? I'm like, no, I already bought one.
Did the one who said that they didn't want cash, they wanted to finance it because that's where they really make a lot of money, did they ever call back and say, "Hey, we fucked that up"?
Just emailed me this morning. Can we help you with another car? No, no, you can't.
Did you let them know why?
Yeah. I told him,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said,
I'll always let them know why.
yeah, no, I said, I've already bought another car, number one. And number two, I told you in a previous email that I found out everything I need to know about your dealership when you said you would prefer that I finance instead of pay cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they respond?
No.
No, no.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But, you being in a position of, I don't need a relationship. I would
No,
like to be in one. You hold all the cards, dude.
I don't even like to be in one.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Wow. You really even hold all the cards.
Kev, I'll spend time with a lovely lady,
Uh-huh.
and all I'm thinking as I'm doing it is, what's the deal breaker? What's the deal breaker?
Yeah.
Because I don't, I mean, it's somebody that's really got to really zing me and make it worthwhile. And if I'm like, okay, she's hot, she's sexy, there's no freak gap. She doesn't talk with her mouth full of food. After I walk into the bathroom, it doesn't stink. This is
Oh,
good.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm, and I shouldn't be this way. And I know there's there a couple of them they listen to the podcast, so they were going right now. What a dick! But
Well,
I'm just being honest.
yeah. And honesty is not always fun.
I feel like that in this world we live in now, I owe them honesty.
Yeah.
I just owe people honesty. Anybody that is seeking honesty, they will get it in bunches from me.
Well, it's an admirable trait.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. So anyway,
So that one's done. Now we're moving on, huh?
yeah, we're moving on, Kev. And I got. Speaking of people around here and the people around me and in my orbit that listen to or watch the podcast, apparently I'm becoming like the neighborhood sounding board. And I don't know what it is about this podcast that makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about and I can flesh things out. And I'm a person that's wise and can give good advice. I don't know where that comes from at
Yeah, I
all.
have no idea where that would come from.
That just seems to be a thing now in the neighborhood. And I got a guy in the neighborhood. He came to me and he said, "Yeah, I just kind of wanted your feedback on something here." And since he listens, I'm just going to call him William.
Okay.
He's telling me that he's struggling because his toddler keeps walking in on him and his wife when they're having sex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Doing the
and
wrestling.
yeah, yeah. Well, exactly. He said he's running out of excuses to give the toddler, the poor little guy. And I said, well, don't use an excuse. Say the same thing every time. And what I used to say with my kids when they walked in is, "Mommy and I are just wrestling." I would say that.
Yeah.
And a little bit later, my kids are pretty astute. They would ask further questions like, "Why does it always seem like you're winning, Daddy?" and and I'll just be like, "Well, Mom is good at, upright striking. She's great at, she's got the boxing game down. But once things get on the ground, it's dad time. Wrestling's my thing. Yeah, I got superior wrestling skills. So, I would let them know that.
Yes, kids. Daddy invented the ground and pound.
Exactly. Yeah. My thing is to arm bar her. I want to arm bar her. But Kev, we always tried to take precautions. One of us would you got to eyeball the doorknob.
Okay.
And if that thing starts turning, you got to jump off.
Yeah.
And she was very good at that. Now me, when it was my turn to watch the doorknob.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you know how it is being, you get 2 to 3 minutes in and you're like got a rhythm going and you're about to let that thing go. You forget the doorknob.
Yeah, doorknob be damned.
And that's just when they would come in right there. And, since you're about to go, you don't want to stop. So it gets really weird.
That's right.
So you're picking sheets up to cover everything, just so you can just, do the Schwarzenegger noise.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, as I'm explaining this to William, a lady that just moved here, heard the back end of it, and she's not happy she moved here.
Oh, really?
I can tell she was a little taken back. And
She'll come around.
I just said, I apologize, ma'am. I didn't know you were there, and welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah. One day she'll need advice and come over to you.
My name's Tim. You probably don't want to shake my hand right now. Wondering where it's been.
For sure.
All right. Kev, for those unaware, we're recording this Tuesday instead of Monday because Kev had a little sore throat problem. How was your throat? Are you okay?
Throat's okay. I just can't really breathe.
Yeah, I know. Let's do this. Let's do this to finish it up, and we'll do it. This will be a fun size episode because I want to save your pipes.
Oh, thank you, man.
Because I know you have to do some announcer stuff.
I do.
Let's finish this podcast with a be honest.
Be honest. Be honest.
All right, Kev, be honest.
Yes.
If you died today,
Mm-hmm.
what 6 would be carrying your casket?
Oh, wow. Whew. That's a tough one because I don't know if I have 6 friends that would want to carry it.
Okay, all right, Kev. And that's where I had a problem too, but I want you to think of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll be one of the carriers.
Well, I would figure that you would be one of them. But
I'd be one of them.
But the back of my head says, he's going to want to drop you. He's going to want to drop you.
Well, no, but the back of your head should be saying, I got to make sure the other 5 are good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Tuttle will not be there.
I guess I would have to say my brother, right?
Right? You got to have your brother.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 of the 4. Let's see. Probably my brother-in-law, Ron. He's a good guy.
Brother-in-law, Ron. Love to have Ron there. He's a good guy.
Yeah, really good guy. My uncle, Ron. So got 2 Rons. And then my brother-in-law, Paul.
Right.
Yeah. And then who else would the last one be? Ozzy Osbourne.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
That'll take forever to get you to the gravesite, man.
Exactly.
Slow down. He's shuffling.
Yes, of course.
Hey, Roy, Sharon.
Yeah, I never really wanted to go on the ground anyway, so he would be perfect.
Kevin does not want to be buried. He's worried about, suffocating.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always had a claustrophobic thing. He doesn't want to be underground. Therefore, he has Ozzy Osbourne, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And he's not kidding when he says that I'm claustrophobic and I don't want to be in a coffin. That's true.
No, that is. He's told me that.
Yeah.
For me, Kev, I would have none
Why?
because I'm going to be cremated, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just hoping one of my kids will carry the urn. That's all. That's all. They're pretty busy, but I figure one of them carries the urn, and I'm good.
I think that you'll have 4 kids fighting over who could carry the urn. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
In this, I know that we're planning on wrapping up here, but this is kind of what my rabbit hole this week was. I found an article about a lady who says that when we die, we just go into an alternate universe. We don't end our life. Our physical being ends, but we just glom onto another physical being in an alternate universe. Okay?
I think that is a possibility.
How can you discredit it? We don't know, right?
We don't know.
But then you get all these religious people coming in and quoting the Bible and all this stuff, and I just got sucked into that argument. Oh, man.
Here's the thing, though, is one person's alternate universe is another person's heaven, or another person's hell. I mean,
Right.
it's just a different name.
Yep. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
No, I truly believe that is possible. If it's not specifically a heaven and hell, clouds and fire type thing, it's based on how you did here, where you're at in the alternate universe. Like if you lived a good life, your alternate universe will be a very positive thing.
It's exactly what the article was saying.
Yeah, if you're a fucking dick,
Yep.
Like many politicians and evil motherfuckers on this planet, you're going to have a rough alternate universe.
Well, 2 things with that. Number one, the one comment that made the most sense to me was, we're all energy, and you can't kill energy.
True.
Right?
True.
Yeah. And then as far as, being a dick and getting your due comments, hi, Deshaun Watson. Seriously, man.
Yeah.
Settles with 20 women, and his career is done. His career is done.
Is he not playing anymore?
He ruptured his Achilles.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he ruptured his Achilles on Sunday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they say that at best it'll be a year, but Cleveland's already talking about eating $179 million to release him.
They gave him $250 million guaranteed, and they got nothing out of it.
They haven't even gotten a full season of play out of him.
Oh,
combined over 3 years.
If there was ever a dude that was going to completely mail it in after getting the bag, it's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
When your mind frame is, I got the money. You want me to work and watch film? I'd rather rape.
I mean, it's what we found out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll tell you this. If it's 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, just maybe, that could be just people out to get them and organizing something. 20, 21, 22, dudes, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, he's a fucking apex predator, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's gotta be, right?
I don't doubt it for a second. I mean, he settled with 20. If you're innocent, you don't settle.
I would, yeah. You'd be like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Where's your receipts, bitch? You know what I'm saying?
I don't see Garth Brooks settling from his accuser right now.
Yeah, what's going on there, man? What's
one of his former makeup people, stylists, is claiming that he forced himself on her.
What's the latest on it, though? I remember just seeing a little blur. You know me, I'm off the grid now.
Yeah, well, the latest is that in a defamation, he named his accuser.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's playing hardball. He's not, yeah. So you know how when a victim of sexual assault, they usually use Jane Doe? Not Garth. He came out and said her name.
Oh, wow. Okay, all right. So this may be just a shakedown then, huh?
That's what he believes, and that's what a lot of people believe. So I don't know. I wasn't there, so I'm not going to speculate. I mean, but it's Garth, man. He's never struck me as that type.
Again, you never know though.
No, you never do.
You just never know. I mean, Kev, one of the most affable, coolest guys, nicest guys in history in terms of celebrity before 1994 was O.J. Simpson.
True. Yeah.
That's why anybody that had hung out with him, had talked to, they were shocked. But then you start hearing the tapes, the 911 calls and shit like that, and start seeing the pictures of Nicole and everything like that. And yeah.
Yep.
So, wow, that's okay. That's crazy. So karma hopped all over Deshaun.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. You wonder what his alternate universe will be.
And Cleveland Browns fans were cheering when they, oh, yeah, dude, they were cheering when he was carted off. And
You're kidding me.
No, and LeBron James came out yesterday and said, that's despicable. And I don't believe for a second that they were cheering the injury. I believe wholeheartedly they were cheering that we finally got rid of him. He hasn't done a damn thing for the organization. He's stolen money. It's just, I think that's what they were cheering. I don't think they were cheering the injury at all.
What were the comments on LeBron's bullshit?
I didn't read the comments on that. I just saw that he and so did Myles Garrett, said pretty much the same thing as LeBron.
Kev, he basically has held the entire franchise hostage.
Yeah.
When you get that kind of money and have zero production and seem apathetic about everything, you're holding your franchise hostage. And they've been held hostage for 3 years now.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as a fan, yeah, you don't want anybody in pain.
No.
But you're just like, oh, okay, now we got a new life. Who's QBing for them?
I don't know who will QB for them.
I guarantee you they're calling Tannehill.
Yeah, right.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
And Tannehill's been working out. He's ready.
Yeah, well, they thought he was going to go to the Raiders.
They thought, why didn't he go to Miami after Tua went down?
True. He's been there before. I don't know.
Yeah, there must have been something happened in Miami that we don't know about, where they're like, no, we're not calling Tannehill.
Yeah, it could very well have been. So,
where we'll put up with 11 points a game.
Yeah, right.
Before we bring Tannehill in. All right, Kev, I know you're struggling, man. I'm so sorry, buddy, about your sickness.
Right,
this is going to be a fun size episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll come back full bore next week for episode number 37. Kev, real quick, anything on the fuzzy mic that you're promoting for this week?
I was supposed to do an episode on Sunday, but I couldn't even talk.
Yeah, so, okay. Make sure you download, subscribe, give us a rating. Check out the merchandise on the Tuttle and Kline Facebook page. Trish does a great job. His wife does a great job on this stuff. And Kev, go get some rest and have a great week, my brother.
You too, brother. Thanks so much, man.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.